Okay, blues forms. Like we just spoke about, you can have a quick change and a slow change. It just is how long do you stay on the 1 chord, how long do you stay on the 4 chord. A normal blues is 12 bars, so 12 bar blues. So you have each bar is 4 beats, and you do that 3 times, and that's a 12 bar blues. So here's a quick change. Quick change is when you 1 chord is the first bar, the 4 chord is the second bar, and then the 1 chord is the remainder 2 bars of the first, the first 4 bars, the top part. Then the bottom of a quick change and a slow change are actually exactly the same. A slow change is just all the 1 chord all the way across the top 4 bars. So here's a quick change, and we'll do them in B this time. So. Second line, 4. Bottom 5, 4, 1. It's called the turnaround when you go back to the 5, and it just repeats. The next one is going to be a slow change where we just stay on the 1 for the whole first 4 bars. We'll do it, how about we do this one in A flat? Here's your turnaround 5. And that's your slow change blues. So there are 12 bars, the quick change, and slow change. Those are your common blues forms. The other thing in this lesson I want to talk to you about is different blues chords. So we know they're all based off dominant 7 chords, but what about some common blues extensions? You heard me play some of them, which give it some extra character. The first one is a dominant 9 chord. So it's a dominant 7th chord, you're playing the 9 on top, which is the 2. So for a D7 chord, D9 would be D7 with an E on top, right? So here's D7, and here's D9. Cool sound. Now if you notice, in this chord, we're not playing a 5th of D, but of course the 5th is optional whenever we're playing chords with extensions. But we can bar our 3rd finger and get our 5th on the 1st string. And this gives us a very cool, funky kind of thing. And this upper piece right here, that is an A minor triad. So whenever you're playing blues stuff in D, you can play A minor triad, A minor pentatonics. You can play about this A minorness all day if you want to. It's a lot of fun. The other one is what people call the Hendrix chord. It is a dominant 7th chord, but it has a sharp 9, which also is a flat 3, right? So it has a 1, a flat 3, a major 3, and a flat 7 in there. So if you do it on E, that'll be, here's your main cluster, root, 3rd, 7th. And normally you have your other root here, right? What you're going to do is you're going to add this, and you're going to make that a minor 3, right? Sharp 9 as they call it. This is E7 sharp 9. This is that Hendrix. Very cool sound. I mean, you're literally mixing major and minor in the same chord. It's a very, very cool sound. And you can experiment with these. Again, we're in non-diatonic harmony because that could be a 1, that could be a 4, that could be a 5. It could be whatever you want as long as you sell it. The other one I want to talk to you about is minor 7 flat 5. And you say, okay, well, I know my minor 7 flat 5. That's got nothing to do with a dominant chord. What's that have to do with anything? Well, if you build your minor 7 flat 5 off of the third in a dominant chord, you actually get a dominant 9 chord. You get that upper piece. So, for example, in A, we do A7. Our third in A7, C sharp. We do minor 7 flat 5. That is A9, because this is an E minor triad up top. And if we did our A9 like this, I showed you, this is our E minor triad. There's our C sharp, there's our major third. So this, you hear a lot of this a lot. You go. Very cool minor 7 flat 5 thing where you can imply the dominant 7th chord. Now obviously you have to have another instrument in the band, bass or somebody playing the actual root, playing the A, in that case. But you imply that dominant 9. The last one I want to talk to you about is 13. So when you see, say, a G13, that means you have a root, you have a flat 7, you have a major third, and then you're adding a 6 in there. So for G13, and again, you can mess around with a bunch of different voicings and find some cool stuff that you like. But the cool thing about G13 is that, or any, dominant 13 chord, is that you have this half step in between the flat 7 and the 6. But the 6 is such a bright sound. Even though it's dissonant with the flat 7, it really makes your blues really bright and airy, It's really playful. It's more of a jazzy sound. And again, just like the other ones, you can use them over. They can be the 1 chord, they can be the 4 chord, or the 5 chord. Because you're non-diatonic harmony, you can kind of try whatever you want. So that's what I want to see you do. I would like to see you play a blues, a 1-4-5, it can be a quick change or a slow change, a few times around, and use some of these different chord shapes and mess around with some different sounds. So I'm going to do that for you right now, and I will do it in G, and I'm excited to see your videos.